Have you ever wondered what happens when the final curtain falls? Well, in Buenos Aires, there's a place where it didn't really fall. It just made way for the first chapter. It was a grand theater, home to incredible performances, that's been transformed into this breathtaking temple for books. This is the story of El Ateneo Grand Splendid. And this really isn't just any bookstore, it's a total spectacle. Tucked away in the beautiful Recoleta neighborhood, it's a building with a century of stories that has been completely reborn as one of the most famous literary spots on the entire planet. Okay, so before we dive into its incredible past, let's just take a moment to appreciate what it is today. It really is a temple for books, a true icon of global culture, and honestly, an absolute paradise for anyone who loves the written word. I mean, you don't just get a title like the world's most beautiful bookstore by accident, right? National Geographic said it, The Guardian has echoed it. This place has a reputation that leaves you speechless before you've even picked up a single book. Think about this number for a second. Over 1 million people. That's how many walk through these doors every single year. And they're not all just there to buy books. A lot of people come just to be in this space. It's a destination where everyone speaks in hushed tones, but the atmosphere is just so incredibly warm and inviting. So how did this temple for books even come to be? Well, to really get it, to understand its soul, we have to listen to the echoes of the stage. We've got to go back to a time when this very building was this glittering beacon of Buenos Aires' golden age. You know, its journey through the 20th century is really a story of constant reinvention. It opens in 1919 as this magnificent theater. A few years later, it's a hub for the brand new technology of radio. Then, it embraces the dawn of cinema, becoming the first theater in Argentina to show movies with sound. Each chapter just added a new layer, all leading up to its incredible rebirth in the year 2000. The amount of pure culture packed into this one building was just extraordinary. The visionary behind it all, a guy named Max Glucksmann, didn't just build a theater. He built a cultural engine. This was the very stage where tango legends like Carlos Gardel recorded their music. It was home to a major record label. It was a place where art and performance just exploded. And watching over all of it, then and now, is this incredible piece of history. That breathtaking fresco on the dome. It isn't just for decoration. It's a powerful statement. Nazareno Orlandi painted it just as the world was breathing this collective sigh of relief after World War I. It's this soaring, beautiful celebration of peace, a permanent reminder of hope for everyone who steps inside. But, like in any good story, there's a dramatic turn. By the end of the 20th century, that golden age had faded, and it looked like the curtain on the Grand Splendid was about to fall for the very last time. It's almost impossible to imagine now, but by the late 1990s, this magnificent building was completely shuttered, and it was facing the wrecking ball. The economy was tough, its future was totally uncertain, and demolition was a tragically real possibility. $3 million. That was the investment that saved it. A company called the Ilhasa Group, who owned the El Ateneo publishing house, they stepped in. They didn't see a dusty old relic. They saw a massive opportunity to save its soul while giving it this brilliant new purpose. And the transformation was just profound. It was such a bold move, right? To convert a space designed for applause and spectacle into a sanctuary for quiet thought and literary discovery. But the real genius is in how they did it. The architect, Fernando Manzone, he didn't try to erase the past. He celebrated it. So the stage where tango stars once performed, it's now a beautiful café. The 1,050 audience seats, they made way for these massive, towering bookshelves. And my favorite part? The original ornate theater boxes were turned into the coolest, most unique reading nooks you can possibly imagine. So what's it actually like to walk through those doors today? Let's take a quick virtual tour of this one-of-a-kind literary landmark. The building really invites you on a journey. You can go down to the basement, which is full of children's books and music. Then on the ground floor, you can wander through what used to be the main seating area and just appreciate the scale of the place. You absolutely have to grab a coffee on the stage, framed by those iconic crimson curtains. But the real magic? It's heading up to the upper floors, finding an empty theater box, and just settling in with a book to soak it all in. And the experience just keeps getting better. The bookstore has actually introduced a new way for visitors to dive even deeper into the building's incredible story. So this new immersive tour, it opens up parts of the building that have been closed to the public for decades. It gives you this interactive history lesson and, best of all, an exclusive up-close view of that magnificent dome fresco. It's a way to connect with the space on a whole new level.
You see, the story of El Ateneo Grand Splendid is so much more than just a beautiful renovation. Its success has a much bigger meaning for how we think about and value our past.
The success here perfectly illustrates this really powerful idea called adaptive reuse. It's not just about saving old buildings, it's about creatively reimagining them for today. It's about seeing history not as some static museum piece, but as a living, breathing part of our modern cities.
So why does this one bookstore in Buenos Aires matter so much? Well, its impact goes way beyond its own walls. It proves that preservation can be both practical and profitable. It's a global blueprint for saving cultural heritage, it's a huge driver for tourism, and it's just a stunning example of how our past and present can exist together, not just peacefully, but, well, splendidly.
El Ateneo Grand Splendid gives us the answer. It shows us that with a little vision and a lot of respect, the grandest stages of the past can be perfectly set for the quiet, profound, and beautiful stories of our future.